Refreshing Wild Cherry Cola meets smooth cream. The treat you deserve. Pepsi Wild Cherry and Cream. Treat yourself.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show, and in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the video game Need for Speed Unbound, because, nah man, a lot has to be talked about with that game. You know, it comes from a video game series where when you look at the older Need for Speed games, there is no way possible you can mess up with a newer Need for Speed game. And that's the thing, the company behind Need for Speed, EA Games, it just seems like they're on a generational run of ruining their biggest titles, because they messed up Battlefield 6, they messed up Skate. I'm trying to think, then there's like the games that they're not even focused on, but it's probably for good reasons they're not focused on those games, because when you look at Battlefield 6, when you look at the older Battlefield games, it's like, fam, there's no way possible you can mess up with Battlefield 6. They turned Battlefield 6 pretty much into Call of Duty Warzone. Then with the Skate series, I like the new Skate game, but it just didn't have that feel of the older Skate games. Like, I had to say, comparing it to Battlefield, Skate has a little bit more to do in there, but I think it's, one of those microtransaction games where even though they say the game is free, you're gonna have to be, I guess to get a good experience with it, you are gonna have to put some money into that game. And then getting with Need for Speed, because Need for Speed Unbound, that's where I had to say where it all started, and it's crazy because the last Need for Speed game, Need for Speed Heat, that game was good. And I'm trying to think, hold on for a second, let me see all the different Need for Speed games that came out, because I think Heat had came out, and then it was that one where it was like the 2015 one. Hold on for a second, let me look. Let me see. Okay, so Payback. Actually, I forgot about Payback. Payback was good too. Payback, I remember playing a little bit of Payback, and I thought it was good. And then, then they had that 2015 one. I don't think I played it was a mobile game. So yeah, I was like, I didn't play that. Rivals was decent. That new version of Most Wanted was decent. I think I do have the run, but I can't remember if I played it or not, but I think I did, but I just don't remember. Shift 2 Unleashed, I think I played that too. I can't remember. Hot Pursuit, alright. Need for Speed World, I actually remember that. That was that one where it was like, it had like a sad closing to it. Like, I remember playing it, and then, out of nowhere, they just decided to shut the game down. But yeah, Shift is okay. I ain't gonna say it's the best Need for Speed game of all time, but it's okay. Undercover was, I thought it was pretty good. Pro Street was decent. I think, I played a little bit of Carbon. Carbon was decent. Most Wanted will probably, I think that is peak Need for Speed. Like, the only other game I can think of, in my opinion, that's better than Most Wanted is Underground 2. I was a fan of, because I did start, I didn't play it up until like maybe 2 years ago or last year. I can't remember when exactly I got Underground 2, but no, shopping at this retro game store, I'm telling you, like, there's a lot of different games I got from that store where I was like, getting a chance to experience those games. Yeah, man, I'm like, shout out to that store, because I don't think I ever would have had a chance on playing any of these like a lot of different classic titles. But no, overall though, there is no way possible EA can mess up the Need for Speed series. So they announced that a new Need for Speed game is coming out, because we already done played Heat. Everybody done played Heat. You either played it multiple times or you played it that one time, but it was good. So what could they possibly do to up the level of fun that you're gonna have with Need for Speed? They come out with Unbound. They announced that ASAP Rocky is going to pretty much be promoting the game, like, because they shown him in commercials. Or I think he was going to have some involvement in the game too. All right, cool. Game finally comes out. I'm playing it. I think it's okay at first. Then I noticed something with that game where I'm like, fam, how am I supposed to progress through this game if every time I try to do a race, I'm constantly getting chased by cops? I mean, like, they have it where cops are patrolling every street that you go down. So let's say, for an example, you're getting ready to do a race, right? They'll have cops in the area of where the race takes place at. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, fam, I'm trying to play this game and get through the story. What's going on with these cops? But every time, so let's just say you somehow, some way manage to get past all the cops, right? They have this timer thing where, not really, well, no, I guess it does kind of go down in the timer where it's like, you have to get away, from the cops in a certain amount of time, otherwise they'll start chasing you. They'll have it where they're right there, so obviously it's going to take you some time. You're going to slow down a little bit, either trying to make a turn or trying to turn into the area where to do the race at and stuff. Then the cops will start chasing you, and I'm like, fam, it gets to a point where, like, at first I was like, oh, okay, cop chases, they can go on for a decent amount of time. Then when you're trying to do a mission, it's like, okay, enough with these cop chases. A cop chase ain't gotta happen every single time. Like, what's going on? Like, what's the problem? Come out with a patch update or something to fix that, because that's getting annoying. This game's been out since, hold on for a second, let me find it. Game's been out since 2022, and they have yet to patch the cops chasing you, because it just seems like, and you can try to hide, you can try to drive as fast as you possibly can. Cops are right there always chasing you. So let's say you do get away, cops are gonna be right back in that same area. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, that's a question that I have to ask people. Has anybody played throughout and actually was able to beat the Need for Speed Unbound storyline? Because if not, I can understand why. But if so, you were one of the lucky ones. All right. But my thing is this, when I play a story-based game, or if they have a story mode in there, fam, I'm trying to play the story. So that's why I'm like, maybe you guys should have toned down the difficulty, or have it where there's an option to, lower the amount of cops that be out on the streets, or just turn them off altogether. Have it where my thing is this. It gets to a point where you just don't care for the cop chases no more. I think that should have been a separate mode where it's like, okay, go out, cause a bunch of different problems, and then get chased by the cops, see how long you could be on the run, and then whatever amount of XP or new parts or new cars that you unlock afterwards, that's what that should have been. But when it came down to the story, you don't need to have cops patrolling every single area of the road and stuff. And it's crazy where it's like, you'll say things like that, right? And I guarantee and I promise you, if the version that I just portrayed came out, people wouldn't have an issue with it. It probably would have went down in history as one of the best Need for Speed games. I feel like people will be playing that more than Heat. But you know how sad that is, where you guys come out with a brand new video game and people are still playing the last one. Why is that? Why is it that people are still playing the last one? That's a question that I have for EA. But let's just see real quick. Need for Speed, maybe I don't know. Maybe it might have more players now. But the times where I've went and checked, it seems like that Need for Speed Heat had more players and stuff. But let's just see. I could be wrong. And if I am, then maybe I don't know. Maybe people are starting to play Unbound more. But anyways, nope. I'm correct on what I was just saying. Over 1,000 people are playing Need for Speed Heat right now. And 446 people are playing Unbound. Mind you, Unbound is the newer game. Heat is the older game. And on top of that, hold on for a second. Let's see what the price difference is. Because I think... Hold on, because there's... Alright, so Need for Speed Heat... Alright, so actually both of them are $69.99. But the Heat, that's actually... it's the deluxe edition. So you get some extra stuff to do in the game, I believe. And then Need for Speed Unbound it's also, and then the ratings are even different. It's like, yeah, bro, y'all messed up with that game. But anyways, their deluxe editions, I guess, because they have the Palace edition, then they have the Ultimate Collection edition. The Palace edition is $79.99, and then the Ultimate Collection is $84.99, and it's pretty much some cars and stuff. And I'm like, they have where one of them is the Dark Horse. The dark Ford Mustang Dark Horse set. Oh, it looks like it comes with other cars. Okay. Does it come with other cars, or does it just come with the one car? They're showing a bunch of different cars, and I'm like, none of those cars are Mustangs. Oh, wait, no, the first picture is. Why do they show these? Is it, it has to be miss the car from Volume 7 Speed Pass, get instant access, and it's 3 body kits. But they're showing other cars. Like, they're showing a Mercedes. They're showing, a Mercedes SUV, then another Mercedes car. I can't even make out what those cars look. One looked like a Mercedes. The other one, it could possibly be a BMW. I don't know. They're showing a cop car. Then they're showing, oh yeah, so it was a BMW and stuff. But yeah, I'm like, fam, what is the, like, why are you guys having other cars being promoted? But the thing is, alright, so that's what I was going to say, because I was like, yeah, that just threw me off. But why are you charging for a car where I believe in the Crew Motorfest and Forza, they give away that car for free? Like, it's with the game. But that's the thing, though. Even talking on those two games, they got the Crew Motorfest on sale, and they do have like a thing in there where you are kind of, it's not cops, but it's like some version of cops. Like, it's like some top flight security of the world cops that they have in that game. But they don't have it where they're constantly chasing you around. But they do have like some cop missions in there and stuff. And then Forza, they don't even have no cops in that game. So it's like, why? My thing is this, and what's crazy is that with the Crew Motorfest, before they started coming out with all these new things, because I remember at one point that game, it was beat for me. Like, there was nothing else to do in that game, but they started adding a little bit more playlists, and I did take a break from playing that game, but I beat that game at one point in time. And then with Forza Horizon 5, I beat that game too. And it was like, and it was one of those things where I didn't feel scammed, you know, and that's the problem with Need for Speed Unbound, is that I feel scammed playing that game, because I'm like, I have yet to see what that game is all about. And then for you guys to have it where you release this game and you don't come out with no updates, fam, what's the point? Like, you know, you honestly gotta sit down and ask yourself that question. What's the point of even having the game available to be purchased on Steam and stuff? I would rather, or Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, wherever. That game, it's a game where you guys need to lower the price, because the game, it's not even a game. So you know what? Let's just overall, because I feel like people might be asking, like, well, what is the gameplay? Pretty much, like I said, you get chased by cops. Like, yeah, you might get to do some missions here and there, but as far as completing the story, that's a no can do. Like, realistically, it's a no can do. Unless you're somebody that just sits down and dedicates your time to just playing this game, then maybe you might be able to beat this story. But if you're your average gamer, where you got more than 10, 20, 100 games throughout your video game library, and you might be somebody like me, where you have all the platforms, then some old platforms, so you definitely have well over 200, probably close to 1,000 video games, because I know on Steam I got a gang of games, on Xbox I got a gang of games, PlayStation I got a gang of games. Do you honestly think with all these different games where they're playable, do you think I'm gonna sit down and dedicate my time playing a game that's pretty much unplayable? And it just seems like that they're not even doing any updates. Hold on for a second, let's just see with the update situation. They don't even have a tab. Oh, wait a minute. View update history. Let's see what they got going on. So, last update that they came out with, it was a patch note thing back in 2024. That was the last time that they came out with a regular update. Then they had a major update, still again that same year. And then it just seemed like after that, they just stopped. They just gave up on the game. And I'm like, how are you guys going to have a game that's been out for 4 years, and then the last time you came out with an update was 2 years ago, and then you just left it at that? And then we're supposed to pay full price for this game, and it's an unplayable video. Go like, no, so the thing is this, it is playable. It's just that, again, you will be having to deal with a lot of different cop chases. Now, if you are into that type of stuff, then okay, cool. You got the best. It's pretty much a cop chase simulator. You got that down. Like, that's one thing where it's like, yeah, if that's what you're into, then you're going to love this game. But if you're somebody like me where you like to actually, if the game has a story mode, you like to progress through the story, you ain't gonna be able to do that. That not in Need for Speed. Like I said, if you're the average gamer, you're not gonna be able to do that with all the different games that exist. And it's like, fam, I think I'd rather sit down and play Elden Ring and try to figure that game out than to play Need for Speed Unbound again. So the last time I did play that game, right when I was getting ready to do the mission, that's when they decided. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, it's been a while since I played this game. Let me see what it's all about. Still the same old, same old. And that's like, man, it gets to a point where it's like, fam, why did I buy your guys' video game? Like, if I was able to get my money back for that game, I definitely would have. Because I'm like, to me, it just doesn't even make any sense to play a game where it's like, I'm not having fun with it because you're just wanting me to do the one thing. Like, is it some sort of testing or something? I'm like, okay, I feel like that by now, the test should be completed on testing out the cop chases in that game. I'm just trying to play a game. So, yeah, man, I just think that, with EA, they really need to reconsider, I guess, like what they want to do when it comes to their video games and stuff. Because if this is the best that they can come up with, I think we are seeing the end of EA and stuff. Like, luckily the one racing game that they did come out with, I think that game is decent. F125. That's a game that can occupy your time. At least you can progress through the game and stuff. And then with their other titles, I'm like, hey, at the end of the day, whatever you guys got going on with these other titles that are active games now, please just do right by them. But if not, then it's like, bruh, just give it up. It gets to a point where it's like, okay, I think enough is enough. We need to move on and to, maybe get back into movies. Like the Need for Speed movie, that movie was amazing. So maybe that's where EA, where their next destination needs to be at. Because when it comes to gaming, yeah, y'all ain't doing it right. So, but anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. And peace.